Today I'm opening and setting up this new Holbein watercolor palette, which holds 24 removable pans. Inside the palette, there are also a few spare pans, including some double-sized ones. The shape of these pans is one of the main reasons I chose this palette. There is room for the dried paint, but also a shaped area where I can activate and dilute the color with water. The pans are completely removable, so it will be easy to rearrange the colors or replace an individual pan later. The paint is beading up quite strongly on this smooth plastic. It doesn't prevent me from using the palette, but it makes the mixture harder to judge. I'm gently rubbing the surface with a damp magic eraser. Whitening toothpaste has also worked well for me, and beading usually decreases as the palette gets more use. The result is already much better. I'm choosing many of the same colors I've used in this half pan palette, which you may have seen in my earlier videos. The choice is difficult because only 24 colors will fit, but I don't want an overwhelming selection either. For me, 24 feels just right. Here are my final 24 colors. Most of them are Daniel Smith, along with 4 ShinHan PWC colors and 1 MaimeriBlu color. For the neutrals and earth colors, I chose Neutral Tint, Sepia and Burnt Umber from ShinHan PWC, Burnt Sienna, Dragon's Blood from MaimeriBlu, and Yellow Ochre. My greens are Perylene Green, Undersea Green, Olive Green, and Sap Green. Next, I have Cobalt Teal Blue, Cerulean Blue Chromium, Indigo from ShinHan PWC, Phthalo Blue-Green Shade, French Ultramarine, Moonglow, and Permanent Violet from ShinHan PWC. Finally, I chose Quinacridone Rose, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, Pyrrole Scarlet, Quinacridone Gold, Hansa Yellow Deep, Hansa Yellow Light, and Buff Titanium. Now I can start adding the paint. I'm not going to fill the pans completely because I want to leave an empty area where I can activate and dilute the color with water. There is no need to add a huge amount of paint at once. I can always add more later whenever a pan begins to run low. A few of these smaller tubes are almost empty, so getting the very last drops out takes a little effort. But I'm trying to save every bit of paint I can. Now that all the pans are filled, I'm going to mix the colors. I'm using this double-ended ball stylus, which is normally used for embossing or dotting. While filling the pans, I noticed that some of the binder had separated from the pigment in a few of the tubes. Mixing the paint helps distribute the binder and pigment more evenly and also allows the paint to settle more smoothly inside the pan. You don't need this particular tool. A toothpick or a slightly thicker needle would work as well. It's important to clean the tool carefully between every color so that the paints don't accidentally mix together. I'm rinsing it in my water cup and then drying it thoroughly on a paper towel before moving on to the next pan. A tiny amount of paint is lost each time I clean the tool, but I don't think that matters very much. Next, I'll leave the palette open and allow the paints to dry for 48 hours. I'm labeling the pans with small Dymo labels instead of a permanent marker. This way, I can easily change the label if I reuse a pan for another color. This could also be done before filling the palette, which would make similar looking dried colors easier to identify. I don't really need a swatch card to remember these colors. There are only 24 and most of them are already very familiar to me. I'm making this simple card mainly for the video so you can see exactly which colors I've included. If this were a proper swatch card, I would write the color name and brand next to each swatch and possibly the pigment information as well. If these colors were completely new to me, that's the kind of card I would make. And here is my finished palette. Thank you so much for watching. What type of palette do you prefer? Half pans, full pans, or plastic palette like this? And is there a color you would recommend for one of my spare pans? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.